Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2025 BMW M8 Competition Coupe. This model is finished off in black sapphire metallic. MSRP is just over $157,000. Now for the coupe, this is the last model year to get this vehicle. The Gran Coupe and the Convertible are going to live on for the 26-year model. So for this coupe, this is powered by the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It is paired to the 8-speed automatic. It pumps out 617 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. It weighs in around 4,200 pounds. 0 to 60 is 2.5 seconds. Top speed is up to 189 miles an hour. So sad to see this model go. It's a very performance-oriented and luxury-focused coupe from BMW. Now up front, you'll notice this model features a lot of carbon fiber accents. There's a forward-facing camera, all the parking sensors, and the sensor for distance pacing. You get LEDs with a nice dark housing and plenty of cutouts to provide cooling to that engine and all of those components. And then some very subtle lines coming down the hood, giving it a great look because this has a very large hood up top. Now this also has a massive set of red M Sport brakes along with the gloss black wheels. You get more carbon fiber accents surrounding the M8 badge. It's also on the power folding side mirrors where there's a camera and a turn signal, and carbon fiber for the roof. So it helps lower the center of gravity, making this handle much better. There's also some really nice lines and angles that flow down the side. There's even more carbon fiber for the trunk mounted spoiler. You get a backup camera, all the parking sensors, LEDs for the lighting, and then carbon fiber surrounding the quad tip dual exhaust. Now you can use the button on the key fob or the control up underneath to gain access to the cargo space, where you have a pretty good amount for this coupe. You have battery access on one side, storage on the other, and then a 50-50 split for the back seats, so you can fold those down. There's no storage underneath the floor. So for this model, it's still pretty practical if you need to put in some larger items. Now this is where we get into some very nice materials. Take a look at the door panel with Alcantara, two-tone for the leather, brushed aluminum, Bowers & Wilkins for the audio. You get memory seating adjustments, trunk release, and some more storage. And then a very beautiful design for the seats. With the leather, Alcantara, two-tone design, they are all automatic, minus the one manual release in order to gain access to the back seats. Now you're not buying this for a full 4-seater, so honestly, I could go a few miles in the back. You can adjust accordingly, or if you have some smaller kids or you just need the extra space, it's definitely nice to have. I wouldn't go on a long road trip in the back, but if I needed an extra seat, I could make it work. So let's start this up, where we have a leather steering wheel, paddle shifters on both sides. There's M1 and M2. All of the cruise and distance pacing adjustments. It's a heated steering wheel, and then there's volume tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands. Now this button in the middle will pull up your audio adjustments on the head-up display, where there's also miles per hour and the speed limit sign. And then with the gauge cluster, the only info that you have for this setting is on that right side. So you can scroll through all that information depending on what you would like to see. Now you have Alcantara for this entire panel here, along with headlight adjustments and one air vent, and then it surrounds most of the dash along with some leather accents. Now right in the middle, you have the home button in the upper left, where you can go through all of these widgets here, depending on what you'd like to see, and then you have shortcuts on this left side where you can always get to all this information. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then a lot more to go through under the M menu. You can also use the controls down below to further go through this. So you have M1 and M2, so you can have these customized and ready to go. Your vehicle status, various settings that you can monitor too, and then you can even get into your owner's manual and a few other settings. So you can use the shortcuts down below. You don't have to use this as a touchscreen system. Now you also have shortcuts into your intelligent safety, so you can monitor all of those standard safety features. Another LCD screen for your climates that you can go through. This even has heated and ventilated seats. Use one control to get into both of those, which is really nice. You have volume tuning and presets, wireless charging, cup holders, and auxiliaries. Underneath, more carbon fiber. If we put this into reverse, you get the backup camera with backup assistance and automatic parking, and then you also have the 360 view, so you can easily see around the entire vehicle and you have no shortage of visibility issues. You have drive, sport mode, and then park, and the ability to adjust the transmission. There's traction control, a shortcut to the forward-facing camera. You can pull that up in full screen. You have parking sensors, engine start-stop, And then if you push on M mode, this is how you can go into road, sport, and track. So right now we have sport mode, where you can look at some more vitals, and then a massive tack on the head-up display. Setup is for M1 and M2. There's the exhaust note, auto hold, and the e-brake. You have some storage in the armrest, as well as in the locking glove box, and then garage door buttons and dome lights, and then Alcantara for the headliner. And then here's a look at visibility. Super easy to see. You have some large cargo windows in the back, which is very helpful. And we're still in Sport Plus second gear. Here we go. And in that quickest shifting setting, we are up to speed, very smooth in the shifts. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the M8 Coupe. And we have a really nice interior. It hasn't gone to that large curved screen. We'll have to wait and see if 2026 brings some of those models back, if it will get that latest update from BMW or not. But for now, this is a very nice interior with all the tech that you could possibly need. And then a great sound with that V8. Steering wheel also has the automatic adjustment, so you can get that dialed in. And we also have a height adjustment for the seat. At 5'10", I have probably 2 inches or so of headroom, so you could adjust that as needed. And you have a really good outlook. It's a little bit hard to see the end of the hood because it is so long, but with the edges and lines on that passenger side, I can easily place where that is in the road. So for its larger size compared to some of the other coupes from BMW, it's pretty easy to drive and place. Visibility is also very nice. You can see a little bit of that spoiler through the rear view mirror too. So you have a great outlook for this model and just a nice place to be. So if you're looking for something with this level of power, you just want a large coupe, this might be the last model year to get for the M8 Competition Coupe. But it's a great vehicle, super nice to drive. And then as far as its maneuverability goes, we can make a U-turn here where it's pretty tight here. So very easy to do that. And then we'll get back up to speed. And that is possibly going to wrap it up for the last review for the 2025 BMW M8 Competition Coupe. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.